Hello and welcome to the podcast from Stress to Success Blueprint. I'm your host, Lolita Guarin, and today is episode 139. So, we're wrapping up the 2 weeks of talking about stress and burnout. I think there were some great episodes. I don't know what you think. So, I want to talk about what helped me. Three things that helped me. Of course, you always can find more things and more tools, but there were main things that really helped with my mindset, with everyday stress, that helped me to not to get overwhelmed so much with the burnout. And it's not that I want to talk about the actionable steps that, like time management or saying no and all this, but I want to talk about your mindset that, you carrying your mind everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, here you are. So, number one, what helped me a lot is to stop judging. I know, it says in the Bible, isn't it? It probably in another religions as well, but it's not about that. It's the judging part I'm talking about is we cannot not judge, meaning you need to look at the judgment as we're evaluating. We're always constantly evaluating everything. When you go outside, I mean, not even going outside, just before you go outside, you look out the window and you're already judging the situation. You're already evaluating what's really happening outside. Do you need a jacket or not? When you start talking with someone, you are immediately looking how they react to you. What do they say? And then you immediately judging the situation of what you're going to need to do in order to be safe. That's like being very hyper vigilant. You're always looking for the worst thing to happen. You always want to make sure nobody will offend you, nobody will hurt you. That's obviously coming from the place of wounded childhood, where you constantly were on the lookout, where you're anxious, you had to take care of yourself. You were not really sure about yourself, especially about the environment. You don't know what's going to happen. Like I grew up with my father being alcoholic. Every day, I have no idea when I'm going to get home. I come back after school. I don't even want to go home. Why? Because, well, I don't know what I'm going to find. So if you grow up in a very stressful environment, everything it will be just extra stressful. Somebody somewhere I hear in the hallway laughing or not laughing, but like talking with the loud voice. They arguing about something. I assume that they're arguing. I'm already afraid that this gonna break out in a fight. My heart is already beating faster because it reminds me what it felt like when I was a child and my parents were yelling at each other. When turned out that those people in the hallway were just discussing the football game that they watched yesterday. So I realized that I need to stop judging everyone, every situation, and just pretty much, maybe judging is the wrong word, just being less hyper vigilant about everything. I started questioning myself only when I really need to question that. And with the moment when I told to myself, nobody's out there to get me. I mean, there are maybe a few people, but not everyone. And then I stopped paying attention how people feel towards me, because obviously I will care about them and I don't want to hurt them and all that. But like I realized a lot of people don't even care that much about other people. They care only about themselves. The same like I was caring about myself. What do other people think about me? Well, guess what? Everybody's thinking about themselves. Oh, you know what? I just reminded Dr. Amen. I was watching on PBS about his the show about the brain and food and all that. And I like the saying he said, when you're 20, you think everybody is thinking about you. When you're 40, you don't give a damn what others think about you. And when you're 60, you realize that nobody was thinking about you. So, yeah, just taking that and being less hypervigilant really reduced my stress levels and hence burnout. Then I learned that worrying about something that I cannot change is just causing me stress and really changing nothing. I like remind myself, that's why I like list of situations that happen in your life that uh, may look like very worrisome and stressful, like you were anticipating that, but it didn't happen. I started writing those down and I realized that there were a lot of situations that did not turn for bad. They were fine. I was fine. Naturally, again, that comes from my childhood when I was expecting for the second shoe to drop. I was expecting for the wrong things to show up out of survival. That's natural. This is all natural. That's a normal response. But now I'm an adult and I can take care of myself, and I had to remind myself constantly that even if things look very bad, they're probably not that bad. And sometimes there's always a silver lining. Things turn for the better. I had that list too. And I'm like, okay, what are the things that, just showed up, looks like out of nowhere? How I was saved from some relationships, how I didn't get a job. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't get a job. But later it turned out that, well, that company filed for bankruptcy 3 months later. So I start paying attention to more of the facts instead of just being very hyper and getting into my fears. So I wonder, what is the thing that you notice in your mindset that helped you a lot with stress management? Please leave me a comment below. I'll be so happy to read it. And if you have any question or would like to have a coaching session with me, you're welcome to do that by registering on my website, beamazingyou.com. And next week, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about next week. Give me an idea. Tell me, what should I talk about in the episodes in the next week? And I'll be so happy to take your questions. And that's another thing. I'm going to start answering some questions in some episodes.